During this video segment, I will give you an overview of the lesson planner within Curriculum Track. To do this, I'm going to log in or work as teacher Jennifer Miller from Victory Christian School. They're a school that has been using Curriculum Track for quite a few years now. If your school is using the lesson planner, you should see an icon called Lessons. If not, it would just go from units to benchmarks. And notice underneath Lessons there are teacher tools as well as administrative tools. Jennifer Miller is set up as both. However, most teachers would just see these top items. So let's go to the Lessons database. That's one of the main areas that teachers would work. And in the drop-down underneath Jennifer Miller, notice it shows all the courses that are attached to her within Curriculum Track. And so let's go ahead and go to second grade math. And as I said, this school has been using Curriculum Track for several years, so she has a really nice database of lessons that she's created over the years. And so it becomes very easy for her to just modify lessons slightly and add them to the appropriate dates for this school year. So let's go ahead and add a brand new second grade math lesson. So in this case, we'll call it Adding Fractions. And then it is attached to second grade math. And here's all the units that are defined for second grade math in Jennifer Miller's curriculum map. So let's go ahead and choose this right here, this addition facts. And so what it does when you do that is it'll pull in all the benchmarks that were attached to that unit within the mapping or unit area. And it will also pull in all the unit attachments. So what's nice about that is it'll allow you as a teacher to say, okay, if these are the benchmarks that should be taught in this unit, I'm going to be addressing these two benchmarks in this unit. And I'm going to be addressing these three, or using these three attachments in this daily lesson. If I scroll down a bit further, notice that it has three fields here. And just like in your curriculum map, your curriculum administrator will define the fields that are in all your teachers' maps. Likewise here, your curriculum admin person will define what fields will be in your lesson plans. So this is not teacher by teacher, this is defined administratively. So for Victory Christian School, they have these three fields. So I can try anyway. I can type in my text here. And by the way, if I would have had a typo, there is a spell checker in here. And there's bulleted list, numbered list, bold, italicized, underline, and so forth. So there is some formatting. And if I wanted to, I can also copy and paste text in from another location. So let's do that just to make it a little bit quicker. I showed earlier that these are the unit attachments, and I just checked those off. You also, as a teacher, have the ability to upload another attachment that's just for this lesson. However, you could do it here, or you could upload it to the unit attachments area and just check it off. Now, if you do add it here, one thing you can do is you can check this box if you want your parents and students to be able to see this attachment. Maybe it's a worksheet or something like that. By default, it won't show that. Just to be sure that students aren't able to see something you don't want them to see. So let's go ahead and add that unit in. So there's our adding fractions unit. And one other thing I could have done when I added it in. So let's go back and edit it again. So this is the screen I was on earlier. At the top here, there's dates that you can specify. So I could say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and teach this lesson on Monday the 21st and Tuesday the 22nd. You can also, if it's a lesson that spans more than just a few days, you can put a start and end date and click on this fill in, and it'll actually choose all the dates that are school days between the start date and the end date, taking out weekends and non-school days. So let's go ahead and click Save. So now notice that this lesson is attached to those 2 days. Let's go to the weekly planner. And in the weekly planner, notice what we have is the current week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then on the left side, we have all the courses that I teach or Jennifer Miller teaches in this case. And let's go ahead and click the next. What that does is it's going to move ahead exactly a week. And it'll default to the week you're in, but notice here's the adding fractions that I just added in. If I wanted to add in more fields or more lessons, I can do that as well, or I could have done it from here. So let's go ahead and click on this paperclip and show you what that does. That allows you to attach lessons to this class section. So let's say adding fractions is actually going to take a third day. So let's go ahead and add that in. And then on Thursday, let's say that we're going to teach lesson number 2. And on Friday, we're going to teach lesson number 3. Oops, I forgot to add that in, I guess. Let's try that again. Lesson number 2. And we'll attach that. And so now if I click go back, notice that it has those lessons in added as well. I can click on this lesson if I want to see all the details related to it. It's a little bit narrow, but this tool right here is probably not intended for you to have all the details. We'll show that in just a moment in a different page. But again, you can click on it to see all the information. And you can close it that way as well. Notice that it has all my information. If I wanted to see more on this particular view, what I could do is I could click on this right here. And so for instance, if you wanted to see your lesson objectives and your material lists, I can go ahead and click save. And now notice that it has that information in this box as well. And each teacher can specify what they all want to see in these boxes, if they want the details or if they want just a very clean look. If they change their mind, they can click on this again, and I'm just going to show the lesson name. Keep it very, very clean. What this allows you to do, this next icon allows you to move your lessons. So let's say that you have an assembly at school. So we didn't have school on, or have this class on Tuesday. So I'm going to take all my lessons from Tuesday on, and I'm going to move those one day later or to the right. So let's click move lesson. And so notice what it did is it moved these over. And the lesson that was on Friday should be on Monday now. Yep, sure enough, there it is. So that's what the move feature allows you to do. And then the last item here is it allows you to add notes to a box. So if you want to put some information in, but you don't want to type in, don't want to have to actually add a lesson in. For example, I could say no class special assembly. And I can go ahead and click save. And now notice it adds that note in there. That move feature, by the way, works really nice as well if you have snow days or weather-related cancellations and so forth, that you can move everything back any number of days. So that's what those three icons are. Let's move next to the daily view. So with the daily view, let's go ahead and go to the 21st. And if you look at the 21st, this is a much better view for all the information that I have. And notice it only has one lesson here, but it would actually have all your classes listed below here that you teach that day with all your details. And you can do a nice printable view, or you could teach right from this as well. So this is, like I said, the weekly planner is a nice planning tool, but I like the daily view to actually teach from. And by the way, you can also use your smartphone if you want to for this. Just so you see what that looks like, let's resize this page and let's go to that daily view so it's more like a phone environment. And so let's see, what was the date again? I think it was the 21st. Oh, yep, there it is. And so now notice on your phone you could have all your class sections listed here, and you just click on this caret, you'd see all the information so you can expand and collapse those. So again, that's a really nice feature if you want to use your mobile phone and teach from that. The next item is the weekly view by class. And so what that allows you to do is if I want to choose math, and let's go to next week, it shows all the information again, but instead of showing just one day's worth. It shows the entire week with all the information on that class and all the lessons. The next item is the print lessons. So if you want to be able to print multiple lessons simultaneously, so let's go to math once again. And let's say that these, well, let's do this. Let's say I want all the lessons that are attached to Unit 1. So notice it selects those. I can click Select All and Submit. And now what it does is it gives me a nice clean printable view of all those lessons with a page break in between those. So that's if you want to have a hard copy of those lessons to teach from. As far as the class section setup, that's something that's done one time by teachers each school year to set up their class sections. We'll actually cover that in a different video. There's also some really nice admin tools where it allows me as an admin. So let's see. Allows me as an admin to see all the lessons for a teacher. So I could go from teacher to teacher. That's that teacher's 2 classes that they teach. Let's go to Corrine Anderson. Looks like she teaches 4K. So here's her math lessons. Here's her Bible lessons and so forth. Notice they can print them, but they can't edit and delete them. Also, you can view the weekly planner for teachers. So this is really handy if you wanted to see the weekly planner for a teacher. And the nice thing is you can go from teacher to teacher and so forth and see all their information and all their lessons. So this kind of simulates the old traditional handing in lesson plan books to administrators. Now administrators can do that digitally at any time. There's also a lesson plan progress report. So that allows us to see the progress of teachers. This is a brand new school year, so I don't know that I'm going to see a whole lot here, but ultimately you could specify your date ranges and you can see all the updates by those teachers to their lessons. So it doesn't look like the teachers have done much with this yet, so but I recommend that you take a look at that as well. So this concludes this video segment on the lesson planner within Curriculum Track.